This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So one more time we will go through that. So anyhow, even you are going to get a copy of this course contents so that even you can check like where you are or what is the next topic we are going to discuss and all. So like at this stage, I can just show you the contents like earlier, but in depth every day we are going to discuss. So introduction in the sense like we will be discussing how Python will work, what is the editor we are going to use to write the script and all. So getting started in the sense like we will execute the Python program, first Python program in several ways. So Python script execution will also be there. So like the variables, various ways of printing, how to print the data, how to display the data onto the monitor to the user like that. So general data types like Boolean functions, operators, casting, literals, comments, strings and its types. So I'm just roughly showing. Anyhow, we are going to discuss everything in depth, accepting inputs, control statements, like how the flow of instructions will be there. So sequence, decision, loop, and then break, continue, pass keywords, indexing and slicing. So also we are going to cover the special data types like lists, sets, tuples and dictionaries, and then the functions, the how reusability is achieved in Python. That is the major idea of this function. So that we are going to see in depth and also several types. So the modules, the packages, how modules and packages are implemented to satisfy the requirements in different areas or in fields, and then we will be dealing up with the files. So this is core Python, advanced in the sense object oriented programming. So here we are going to see what is object oriented language, like how can we decide whether a language is object oriented or not. So why Python is object oriented, all such things. So what are the classes and objects and the principles of OOPS like encapsulation, inheritance, abstraction. Also we are going to have some idea on interfaces. Then how to install any module in the editor, and we will work with the Excel files. Then we will go with the operating system commands to perform OS level operations, and then a kind of constructors and destructors. These destructors and garbage collectors will tell us about the memory deallocation process, then the exceptions, how to solve the runtime errors. So we are going to see here, and lambda map filter functions to make the code shorter, and command line arguments. So at the time of code execution, what arguments we can pass, how they are going to work, that we are going to see here. And then the database connectivity, working with the databases, and then the multi-threading. So how parallel processing is achieved. So how different pieces of same program can be executed simultaneously, all such things. See, this is a very brief idea. Everything in depth, point by point, we will be covering. No problem at all. Just have provided an overview, that's it. And the major advantage with this Python is person with zero coding knowledge can also learn this technology. So if we want to learn, earlier I told to learn Java, some knowledge of C is required. For .NET, some knowledge of C or C++ is required. But for this Python, nothing is required. Anybody without any coding knowledge can learn this very, very easily and quickly. So no problem at all, no issue at all. Okay, so fine, then let's start our second class. Earlier I have provided some introduction, right? So you, if someone is missed, definitely you will be getting the recorded session. I didn't tell anything much, like who introduced Python, what is Python, that is small kind of things, nothing more than that. Okay, fine. So let's go with the second class. That is nothing but working with Python. See, in order to work with Python, of course, we need to install the Python software. So let us see how to do that. So firstly, we have to go to Google. And we have to give www.python.org. Then what you have to do, see, you can see the download section here. So in the download section, you can download this one, Python 3.8.5. Just click on that. one exe file will be downloaded. Just open that, click on I accept, like accept the license agreement, then click on next, 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 and finish. That's it. It will take just 3 to 4 minutes of time to install Python. You went to python.org, you went to the downloads tab, and you went here. You have just clicked on that. This exe is downloaded, and you can just open and install. In which way you will install other softwares in the same way. No complexity, nothing. Simply next, next, next. That's it. Okay. So once the Python is installed, what you have to do, like what you can observe means in your all programs, you can find Python folder. Yeah. So you can find Python folder. So Python 3.8 I can say because I have downloaded that version. If I want to download, if I have downloaded Python 3.7, then you can see Python 3.7 folder here. If you have downloaded Python 3.6, then 3.6 folder you can see here. So as I have downloaded Python 3.8, I can see Python 3.8 folder here. Just expand it. Once you expand, you can find two options here, like two things basically. First is what? Black screen with two snakes. Black screen with two snakes. I will tell you what is that. So click on that once. So whatever the commands you want to give, yes, you can give here. So I will be writing like this. I will explain what is print. Don't worry. In the next 10 minutes, I will explain. So I'm just giving print hello and hitting enter. The output of this command is what? Hello. The same we are going to see. And I am giving what? I am giving print hi. So after giving the command, if I hit enter, the output of this command hi is coming. Again, if I give by, and if I hit enter, then the output of this command we can see. See, after giving the command, if we hit enter, immediately we are able to see the output of that command. So that means what? Python has been opened in the command mode. Command mode. See, this black screen with two snakes means what? Python command mode. Command by command you are able to see the result. Command by command. But I don't want like that. I want to write the complete script. I want to write the complete script. In the last, I want to see the result. So for this, what I have to do, I have to open Python in the script mode. So now it is in the command mode. Because of that, command by command, I will see the result. I am able to see the result. Now, after writing all the script or the entire script, I want to see the result. So I want to open Python in the script mode. So how can we do that? So I'm closing this command mode of Python. So I'm again going to all programs. I can observe the Python folder here. So again, I'm going to my Python folder. Then here I can see white screen with two snakes. White screen with two snakes, which is called as idle. Idle. This is the Python script mode. This is the Python script mode. I'm clicking here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new file. See, this is shell. So if I give print hello here, hit enter, again I'm going to get the output of that command. But that is not our requirement. We have to write all the script, right? So that's why in the shell you will be having file option. Go to file, go to new file. Go to file and new file. Here, whatever the script we want to write, yes, we can write. So print 1, print 2, print 3. So like this, what we have done, we have written our script. See, if I have to execute this, first I need to save it. So before telling that saving, I just want to mention one more point here. As soon as we install Python, what will happen in the C drive, in the C drive, in the users folder, in the user folder, app data folder will be there. See, app data folder you cannot see because it is a hidden folder. So what you have to do, you have to give that one app data. You have to type it. So now you are in the app data folder. In that, local folder is there. In that, programs folder is there. In that, automatically Python folder will be created. As soon as you install Python, in C users user app data local programs folder, Python folder will be created. In that Python folder, 3832 folder can also be seen. So what I'm saying, whatever we are going to save here, those will by default be going to this 3832 folder. So let us save it. So file, save, let us say uh, my script, my script, my script.py. See, .py is mandatory because it is a Python file. Java file means .java, C means .c, like that. It's a Python file. Now that's why I have taken .py, py extension, my scripts. So if I click on save, see where it is going. By default, it will go to the C users user app data local programs Python 3832 folder. So in our Python 3832, we can find that my script it is just created. Okay, so it's not like we have to put only there. We can click on save as and we can change the location also, no problem. Okay, after saving this, how can I see the result of this? Go to run module. F5 is the shortcut. See, simply what I did, I went to the Python folder and then idle I have clicked. Then I will be getting one shell. In that shell I went to file a new file. So in that new file I have written some code and saved it. By default it went to 3832 folder and I'm clicking on run and run module. So once I do that, I will be able to see the result in the shell. See, it is letting me to write all the commands. It's not like after writing one command, if I hit enter, it is showing the output. It's not like that. I can write the complete script and in the last I can see the result. That's why idle is called as Python script mode. Python script mode. So actually, no one is going to use idle to write the Python code in real time. Why like that? What happened to this idle? What's the problem? Yes, there are several problems with this idle. It's not too interactive actually. See, code you are writing in one window, output you are seeing in a separate window. So code will be in one window, output will be in separate window, which is not good to see. This is not at all good. Next thing is, see, I will modify my code. I will modify my code and I am running. Run module. See what it is telling, source must be saved. Okay, to save. That means what? If I do any modification, I must save the file, then only I can execute the code. There is no auto saving here. So I'm expecting my code to get saved automatically. Even though if I don't put this control S, it should be saved and then it should be executed automatically, what I feel. So no, it's not like that. If we perform any modifications in our code, if you directly run, it will not allow. We must save and then only we can see the result. So this is also not good. And then see, if I type P, it should get some suggestions for me, like whatever the things available with P in Python, I should be able to see the list of it. So that intelligence is not there. It's not going to provide any suggestion for us. So I only have to type PRINT. So that is also not good. So now it is telling it's not that interactive. It's not so interactive. Actually, if I, as soon as I type P, whatever are there with P in Python, that list I should get, I'm expecting, but that is also not coming. So intelligence or suggestions are not there properly. And C, I didn't explain the print command, that's okay, but generally you think if I open the code, I should close it. Let us say I forgot to close it. So I am saving the file, and I'm running run module. What it is telling? It is showing the error. Simply what I am saying, if I do any mistake, it is sitting calmly. If I do any mistake, it should indicate, it should notify me then and there itself. Now, after I run the code, then it is telling that it's the wrong thing, which is not good. So if I miss to close the bracket, then it is simply sitting quiet. It's not at all indicating any problem to me. After I run, it is telling. So like that, see what I told, like code will be in one window, output can be seen in separate window, and there is no proper suggestion provided. And then like if you modify your code, you have to save and then only you can run it. And then if we do any mistake, it will not indicate or it will not notify about our mistake. After running the code, after saving and running the code, it is telling the problem. So this is not at all a good editor to write the Python code. Okay, people are not using idle, that is fine. Then what is the best editor used in many of the companies' names? It is nothing but PyCharm. PyCharm. So see, Py means what? Python. Charm means what? Beauty. We can write the Python code in a beautiful way or in an interactive way if we use this particular PyCharm software or PyCharm editor to edit your Python code. So actually, I'm just asking you a question. Can you please post your answer in the chat? See, my question is, idle I have installed separately or along with Python, I got this idle. Python command mode, idle, that is the script mode. I got, once I install Python, I got these two, or I have separately installed this idle. That is what my question. You haven't observed? No problem. See, this is a package. Correct. Yes, Harish. So actually, if we install Python, yeah, it is together. Yeah. So if we download and install Python, automatically Python command mode and this idle will come. But PyCharm will not be coming. We have to separately download and install Python. And one more important point, if you want to work with PyCharm, first we have to install Python. On top of that only PyCharm will work. Without installing Python software, PyCharm will not be working. So here the base interpreter PVM. I will be telling you about PVMs, interpreters, compilers, everything in one class anyhow. So Python will take this interpreter, this base interpreter PVM, and then only it can work. So for now, I will tell about this Python virtual machine and all later. But anyhow, please do remember that to work with Python, first we need to install Python. On top of that only we can just work with this Python. And as usually, how to install PyCharm means go to Google. Here, simply you can type PyCharm download, and then see PyCharm is given by JetBrains community, JetBrains company. So this is the official website. You can get PyCharm from this. So www.jetbrains.com. Okay. So here, once you go there, like you can find professional, under the download option, community also under that the download option. See professional download option here. If you click, like it is going to get downloaded, PyCharm is going to get downloaded, but it is for free only for 1 month. Later on we have to purchase that, so that is not required anyhow. You can click on the community download. So this is an open source, completely free for lifetime. We can use it for free of cost. So we can click on this download option. So you will be getting your exe file downloaded. Simple as usually. Open, I accept the license agreement, next, finish. No need to see also, simply we can select all the next and then we can click on finish. So once the PyCharm is downloaded, what will happen in this all programs? You can find one folder with the name JetBrains. So please search with J, don't search with P. J. See, PyCharm is given by JetBrains, right? So that's why you can find JetBrains folder in the all programs. Click on that. In that you can find this PyCharm. So PC is the icon, like you can just click on that. So it will take a while to get opened. So let it get opened. Before that, I just want to tell you one more point. As soon as we install PyCharm in our laptop, in the C drive, in the users folder, in the user folder, PyCharm projects folder will be created. Have you observed? So in C user PyCharm projects folder will be created. So whatever the projects we are creating here, those will be available here. Those will be available in this path. Okay. Okay, let it get opened. So let us say I am having 10 pens. In order to store these 10 pens properly, I need to have a pouch. In the same way, let us say I have to store 10.py files. In order to store these 10.py files properly, what I want, I will have to create a folder, or I require a folder or project. Simply what I am saying, pens will be stored in pouch and .py files can be stored in a folder. In this context, we can call folder as project. So what I'm saying, as soon as you open your PyCharm, what you have to do, you have to create a folder or you have to create a project so that you can store your .py files easily. So let's do that. So here the PyCharm is opened. So how to create a project in this? So go to File, go to New Project. So here it is telling, see, by default your project will go to C users user PyCharm projects. You can change the location also, no problem. And I am giving test morning, something like that. Some project name I am giving, some folder name. Click on create, click on this window. Yes, in this window I want to get that project created. So why it is taking 1 minute of time means, because it is very clearly mentioning it is creating virtual environment. It is creating virtual environment. That's why it is taking 1 or 2 minutes of time. So actually, what is the project name we have given? Test morning, right? Once the project is created, you can see a folder under that with the name VENV. What is VENV? Virtual environment. Virtual environment. In this particular virtual environment folder, some other files and folders will be created. To create this virtual environment or to create this VENV folder itself, it is taking some 1 or 2 minutes of time. So This folder will have the files and folders which make our code to activate and run. So because of these files and folders, our code will be activated and it will be executed. So we will talk more on this virtual environment in the coming classes, and even I'll be showing you how to generate the virtual environment manually. So here it is auto generated. You can observe once the project is created. So virtual env like virtual environment folder is auto generated, and see it is going to have the files and folders which will make our code to get activated and also to get executed. So we will talk more on this anyhow, and also I will tell you how to manually generate this. So here it is auto generated, but I will show that also. Fine. Now the pouch is ready. Now the pouch is ready. You can store any number of pens in that pouch. In the same way, the project or folder is ready. Now you can put any number of .py files in that. So how can I create a Python file here? Right click on the project or right click on the folder. Yeah, go to new, go to Python file. So see, right click new Python file. So I will give the file name as one. So some meaningful name we can give. So I'm just giving one. .py is not required because we have already selected Python file itself. So see, one.py is under our testm. So here I will be writing the code. Okay, so after writing the code, if I want to see the result, what I have to do? Right click on one.py and go to run one. Go to run one. So what is the shortcut? Control Shift F10. Control Shift F10 is the shortcut. So my code got executed and I am able to see the result here. Fine. See, if I want to create one more Python file, definitely I can do that. In one pouch, only one pen I can put? No. We can put any number of pens. In the same way, in one project, we can put any number of .py files. So again, the same procedure. Right click, new Python file. I'm giving some 2. Hit enter. Now 2 is there. Now we can just write something. Second file. How can I execute that? Right click on 2.py, run 2. So we got the output here, and I want to create one more. Right click new Python file. I'm giving the file name as 3 and I'm writing print. Third file, just right click on 3.py, hit run 3. So you are going to get the result. See, these are our Python files. Now if we click on into, they will be closed. If I want to open this, I will double click on this one.py. I want to open 2.py, double click on this. I want to close, yes, I can close by clicking on into. See, we have discussed some disadvantages with that idle. So those disadvantages or problems are not there here. See, code and output we can see in the same window. Is same as Jupyter. Yes, Harish. So code and output are in the same window. It's not like code is in one window, output is in one window. Not like that. And then see, if I do any modification, please observe, I'm not saving. I'm directly clicking on run file. I'm directly clicking on run file. See, it is auto saved. If I click on run, it will be saved automatically and the modified code will definitely be considered. No need to click on Control S, no need to give save. No need to save manually. It will be saved automatically. So when I do any modification, no problem, I can directly run it. But in idle, we have to save the file, then only we are going to execute it. Okay, and see, if I type P, it is showing it is providing the list of things available with P in Python. See, we can click on up arrow and down arrow. Which one you want, put the cursor on that, over that, and hit enter. Then you will get it. So intelligence is there, or suggestions will be coming, which will make our work easy. So everything no need for me to type. So that is the thing. And see, if I do some mistake, let us say I forgot to close the bracket. See, immediately it is telling me, it is indicating me that I did a mistake with the red mark. Have you observed? So if you put the mouse over it, it will tell the problem also. It will give some suggestion, or it will tell some problem. It will tell the problem also. Comma or bracket expected, it is telling. So if I miss the double quote here, closing quote, then immediately I'll be notified. If I put the mouse over it, it will be telling me the problem. Missing closing quote, missing closing quote. So like that, if I do any mistake, then in there itself I will be notified. So which is very, very easy. Like it will make my work simple. So like this, there are several advantages with PyCharm. Once we proceed with our course, we can understand everything, like even more advantages we can observe. So PyCharm is the best editor the people will use in most of the companies. So there are also some other editors like, as Harsha told, Anaconda's Jupyter Notebook is there, Sublime Text Editor is there, Atom is there, Visual Studio is there. So, but like it depends on the choice of the person. Simply, it's not like you have to use this only, that only. It's not like that. So, most of the majority of the people will be using this PyCharm. So, we are also using this itself. So, anyhow, you pretty well know code will not be changed. The look and feel of the editor will be changed. That's it. Anyhow, the code will not be changed. So, that's okay. No need to worry about the editor. Fine. So, in
So
this
is
way,
there any major feature difference
what is there any?
in any of the editor, let's say PyCharm or any other, right? A
Yes,
different
yes, yes.
editor. Is there any major feature differences there?
Major difference in the sense, see, let us say if I install the Sublime Text Editor, in the Sublime Text Editor, V and V is not auto-generated. We have to generate that manually. So like that, small differences will be there. So nothing more
Oh,
than that.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. So fine, in this way we can work with Python, and even in the demo session, I have clearly mentioned if I speak one word that is very clearly written in the material, I will be sharing this material with you. So see, all the procedure what we have discussed I have written. So download how to install Python software, go to Google, do this procedure. Once you download, in all these four ways you can work using Python command mode, idle, PyCharm, better way. See, in our computer, normal command prompt will be there, na? So here by giving one command, you can execute your Python code. So that we will be seeing in the coming classes. Okay, so this procedure we will be discussing in the coming classes. So up to third one we have discussed. Command mode, idle, PyCharm we have discussed. Using normal command prompt also we can see the result of the Python script. So for that there is some procedure which is bit lengthy. Anyhow, we will be discussing. And see, I have mentioned here very clearly Python command line, like command mode. So you have to go to all programs, go to Python folder, go to black icon with two snakes. So how to work with this I have written. Even regarding idle I have written. So I told you now, like once you open the editor, file, new file, save the file, write the code, go to run module, and your files will be saved in this folder by default. And PyCharm, see this is the direct link for downloading PyCharm. The professional community, two things are there. Go to the community version. So this is for free for lifetime. I have mentioned here professional is not an open source. It's just a free trial for 1 month, like that. So later on, how to work with PyCharm, everything. And normal command prompt we will be discussing anyhow. Yes, Ruthvi, every day you are going to get the videos, like downloadable video, not only access. I'm not sure, Ruthvi. I need to ask the BigClasses team. So anyhow, definitely video you will be getting, but whether it is downloadable or like view access, I'm not very sure. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'll just let you know definitely. Fine. Okay. So I will explain only this program and I will wind up for today. Okay. So what is my intention? See, the intention of my code is to print hello onto the monitor. What I have to do? I have to write a Python script to print hello onto the monitor. So how can I do that? Let us see. See, in most of the coding languages, in most of the situations, if the symbol is encountered, this is called as what? This is called as function or method. This is called as function or method. So, see, you have to agree that print is a function because the symbol is there. Nah? If that symbol is there, that's a function, right? So, in the print function, in the single quote, in the print function, in the double quote, in the print function, in the triple quote, whatever we do write, that will be printed as it is onto the monitor. If we want to print something onto the monitor in Python, we have to use print function. So in the print, in the single quote, double quote, triple quote, whatever you do quote, that will be printed as it is onto the monitor. So how can I see the output? Right click, run one. So we got hello. Okay, so this is a string and three ways are there to indicate the string. So don't bother about it right now. So we will be discussing the data types, strings and all in the coming classes. So let us say I want to print the student details. So how can I do that? Simple. In the print, single quote, double quote or triple quote, whatever. So I'm just writing like this. Student details print. I want to put some heading like this and then print the student number is 101. Print the student name is John. Print the student address is US. Okay, so I'm just executing this one. Right click on 2.py, run 2. So we are going to get the student details. It's very simple, right? Nothing, print function to print something. Can I print double quote itself in the output? So we will be discussing the escape sequences later. But anyhow, Ruthvi asked, na, that's why I'm saying. So if you want to print single quote, just put an escape sequence here. So you will be getting that. And don't worry, we will be discussing the escape sequences, all the escape sequences. Ruthvi, you got your answer? Okay, right. It's simple. If you want to get this quote also, just put an escape sequence. Okay. Apply all OOPS concepts here? Yeah, definitely. We will be discussing the OOPS in the coming classes. No? It's the advanced Python. Once we are completely done with core, as a first topic in advanced, we will be discussing OOPS. Yes. Okay. So any questions for today's class?
Yes.
Okay.
So I understand this is the way you would actually do in Windows,
Mhm.
is there any editor in Linux besides using VI or the Emacs or something?
Actually, as per my knowledge, in that Linux machines, Python is auto installed. Like, and in the VI itself, I used to write the code, but yeah, we can use that VI, I guess, no? VI editor.
No, that is usually it is the default is version 2.2.
Okay, that means you're telling that in that Python is like 2.7 itself. You're telling you don't, you cannot install latest version of Python there. That's what you're telling.
No, 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 no. By default, the version which comes on Linux is
Uh-huh.
usually 2.2.x, I would say. 2.2,
Mm-hmm.
2.7, totally depending. So if you really, you must be aware. Version 2 and there is a huge difference between 2 and 3.
Yes, yes. Small doubt for me. Like you're saying that you're talking about Python version 2 and 3, right?
No, no, I'm talking about is there, so I understand, in what you call Linux or Unix,
Mm-hmm.
Python, one of the things which auto installed like Perl, but
Mm-hmm.
you may not get version or the latest version because what is packaged with it. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
said that, what is there any other editor besides VI or Emacs?
Actually, I guess even this PyCharm will work on this like Mac or Windows. I mean, like this Mac and other OSs also. So see, I guess I can do the same procedure in that Mac OS also, because see, if we go to the download section, it is telling download for Windows, but it is providing some other options like other platforms, Mac OS like that. I guess you
No,
can
I'm
check from.
talking about like PyCharm.
Yeah, even PyCharm. Yes, definitely. PyCharm will also be working in that editor itself. Like even in Maxi, I do have Mac OS and I have installed PyCharm successfully in that.
No, I'm talking about Linux. Will it work on the IDE?
Once
On
you
the
check,
like
even if you want.
Arduino as a
Uh-huh,
program?
uh-huh. So one thing, I never used Linux with PyCharm. I have used Mac with PyCharm and this Windows with PyCharm. So even I'll be checking from my end. So here it is anyhow showing the other platforms, right? So even you check from your end and even I'll be checking from my end, because I haven't installed this PyCharm in Linux. In Mac I used, but definitely I'll check today and I'll get back to you in the next class.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So, ma'am, tomorrow we are going to have the class by same time. Uh, big classes